Welcome back to the Happy Camper, coming to you from the beautiful mountains of southwest Montana. Today we're going to take a look at the new 2020 Coachmen Freedom Express. This is the 287 BHDS. And this little trailer is quite an interesting floor plan. It's a twist on the classic larger bunkhouse floor plan with the big slide out. And this one is just going to give you a little bit of more modern twist and a little advantage over the older models. This particular unit is part of the inventory at our sponsor's dealership, Rocky Mountain RV in Butte, Montana. And I will, of course, link to this particular unit in my description so you can take a look at it or any of the other couple hundred RVs that they do have in stock. We are shooting here at their dealership today, so when we do step outside, I apologize for any noise or wind noise, that type of thing. We're right up on the street today. I do have the big muff on our microphone, but again, we are right on the street, and it's kind of a nice bluebird day here in Montana, so there's a lot of people out driving around and just trying to get out of the house during these crazy times that we're having in the country and in the world right now. Hopefully everybody is staying safe out there and are thinking about going camping, because I know that I am. We're certainly getting to that point in the year where the weather's getting a little nicer. It's definitely time to think about getting back out. And this is such a great way to spend time with your family. It's a low risk, it's a low cost. It's just a really good way to get out and about and enjoy the great outdoors with your family. Pass on the traditions that we've had with our families, our fathers, our mothers that took us out and showed us Montana's backcountry, or wherever you might live. Of course, I'm pretty partial to this part of the world because this is where I grew up. I do want to go through the technical data on the 287 here at the top of the video, so we kind of have an idea of what its overall dimensions are, what you can expect as far as tow vehicle goes, that type of thing. So this unit, like I said, is the Freedom Express. It's in their ultralight series, and it's the 287 BHDS. This unit overall total length is 32 feet 11 inches, and that's very common for these super slide bunk models. In this platform, they've been on the market for a long time, but now we're starting to see some different variations in the floor plan. The trailer weighs in at 6,314 pounds dry weight. It has a hitch weight of 660 pounds, a GVRW of 7,600 pounds, cargo carrying capacity of 1286. Fresh water tank in this is 49 gallons. You're going to have 66 gallons of gray capacity and 33 gallons of black. And that's going to tell you, of course, because you do have a bathroom in the rear of the unit and your kitchen is pushed way up here towards the front bedroom wall, you're going to have two gray tanks in this because they're so far split apart. They do need to put in a second gray tank. The water heater capacity in here is 6 gallons, and the trailer's going to sleep, up to 8 people. So that'll give you the technical data, and all of that means you're looking at a trailer that's just over 6,300 pounds dry weight. By the time you put in your water, your batteries, your propane, and your gear, figure to add 1,000, maybe 1,200 pounds to that at the very most. So you're going to be 7,500 pounds down the road. So that kind of gets you an idea of what you can tow this with. It is, for the most part, going to be in half-ton tow specs. I know there is some smaller vehicles out there that would, that do carry a 7,500 pound tow rate. I think Toyota Tacoma even carries that. However, this is a big trailer to be on that small a vehicle, especially in my part of the world. If you're dealing with high mountain passes, high altitude, high winds, changing weather conditions all the time, we'd like to see you not be completely maxed out on your tow spec. So I tell people, just have a safe margin. If your truck says it'll tow 8,000 or 9,000 pounds with this, you're probably going to be okay. If it's a 10,000 pound tow rating, you're going to be just fine. If it's a 7 or a 75, I think you better really watch what you're doing. So that's just my recommendations on this. And again, it's still a free country. You do whatever you feel comfortable with doing, but keep in mind, just the vehicles are tow spec'd or tow rated for a reason, and take a look at those things before you go crazy. So I'm just going to start right here at the entry door of the unit. It's the easiest place for me to get a logical feel as you walk through the unit. We'll take a look. One of the more interesting features to this floor plan is right at the entry door, and I'm gonna check that right on the way out as we step out of the unit to go out and around the outside. But in the back corner, much as you would expect to see, is a double over double bunks. And I'm sorry, there's a little bit of extra sunlight coming through there, and hopefully that's not messing with my camera lens too badly. But these are the double over doubles. They're going to be the kind of that teddy bear bunk cover. Yep, in fact, there's the little teddy bear sticker right there that says they're that type of covering on them. They're going to be nice big bunks, even for adolescent kids. Not going to be an issue at all. And truly, even an adult could sleep there without too much trouble. You are going to see, this is kind of an interesting deal here. The ladder for the bunks is attached to this little abbreviated wall that goes up the end of the bunks, but the ends here are still open. And I think that's going to make the bunks feel a little more open when you're up on it. It's still a nice little feature. It gives you a little bit of privacy, but it is going to make you feel like you've got a little bit more opening there. Again, I know that lower bunk can feel a little claustrophobic for people at times, so they're trying to help with that. You will also see that they have a window on the exterior there on both bunks, so you're going to get some natural light in there. Those, of course, will have shades on them. And that lower one you can see right now, I have the outside kitchen door open outside, so that's kind of covering up that window. But if that were closed, you'd have, of course, the full view. The other interesting feature to these bunks is you're going to see this little hinged up portion here, and that's just going to give you some extra room for like big items that you're carrying. If you had like a big roll of carpet or some lawn chairs or that type of thing, can slide right back in there while you're traveling. And that bunk does have a little pin system on it that hinges it up and then locks it in place. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to get it with one hand. Very simple operation with a second hand, but for just one hand, we'll just have to show you that way today. Right here in the back corner, again, as you would expect with most trailers this style, you're going to see your bathroom. And this is going to have the little garden tub in it with the surround and the soap shelves and all the good stuff there. And then up overhead, of course, we have a skylight and a power vent as well. Again, the skylight just gives you some really nice natural light in here. You don't have to turn a light on every time that you come in the bathroom, and that's a big deal to me. So you don't, when you're out there, you step in these little bathrooms, they don't feel so small with the natural light. Over here, we've got just a little extra shelving unit that does have some towel hooks built into that. And then, of course, over here in the corner, you're going to see your vanity, and this does have storage built in on that guy. And that's a corner unit. And then, of course, the sink there. They give you a little shelf here because this unit is a little bit small on bathroom countertop space around the sink. The sink is a pretty standard idea. You are going to see, of course, the thermal wrapped countertops. These are kind of a composite material underneath, and then they have this this vinyl planking that is heat treated around that to make it all seamless. So it's a nice little countertop. It seems to be working pretty well in the industry. It's been out there a couple of years now, and it's been in multiple different product lines, and everybody seems to be having good luck with it. We do have storage down here below the sink as well, and again, it's going to be an RV bunkhouse bathroom, so it's not going to be huge, but it is workable. It's great for weekend type of use and that type of thing, or even a week stay. It's going to be a little smaller than what you're going to see in a fifth wheeler, that type of thing. But again, if they're going to crimp space, that's kind of where you want them to do that, would be in the bathroom area where you're not using it every day. One thing that you will see here is a little Freedom Express clock, and these are small things that I mentioned, like the towel hooks in the bathroom and the Freedom Express clock out here. The cool thing with that is it shows a company that is paying attention to detail. There's a lot of companies that just slapping these units together and getting as many out the door as they possibly can. Coachmen is such an iconic brand. They've been in the industry over 50 years, and so they really have the RV blood. It's there for them. They understand it, they live it and breathe it, and the people at work, they're outstanding. I've met most of the people that do work in the Coachmen plants, from the production managers, the sales team, to some of the plant workers, even when I go out to the open house that the manufacturers have in Indiana in September, and they're just great people to deal with, and you can see it in their work. They pay attention to detail, they listen to their customers, and they really give you a nice product. As I'm stepping back, there's one thing I forgot to mention here in the bunks, and you're going to see up here is a set of USB chargers as well as an electrical outlet. And I think, and that is going to be top bunk only from what I'm seeing there. There is an electrical outlet down here on the bottom bunk that is kind of tucked right in there, but the USBs are going to be up top. There are two of them, so you can, of course, string a cord through for a phone or that type of thing. So it's nice to see, again, that detail in the unit. Over here in the slide out on the off-door side, you're going to see a tri-fold hide-to-bed sofa, and that is bottom lit. It does have little cup holders in the end, and this material It's kind of hard to describe. It's a very nice feel, but you can tell it's easy to clean. I would consider it kind of a vinyl type material, but it's not like that slick, super cheap vinyl. It feels really good. Got a little texture to it. It's got some nice stitching in it there. They add in a couple of throw pillows here just for a little color. First thing you'll do is probably throw those in a storage bin somewhere, but a little color for the dealership, of course, so when you walk in, it looks good. Up overhead from the couch there, you're going to see some cabinets. That has an LED light below, as well as backlighting in those cabinets. And then we're going to move over here to our full-size dinette, and these are nice deep benches. You can see that this does protrude out of the slide-out opening just slightly to give you a little bit of extra room in your dinette. Very interesting table configuration down here. The table base is a little easier to fold in and out. And the thing I like about this is it's freestanding, and if anybody's ever had the one with the little silver poles and the holes they drop into on the floor, they know how fragile that system is, and every time you lean on the table, it breaks those little bases. Well, you're not going to have that problem here, and you can pull the table out of the way if you want to clean back in there and all that stuff. If you got kids like I do, you end up with all kinds of crumbs back in underneath the table, so it's definitely nice to be able to pull that table out of the way very easily, clean up back there, slide it back in. Down underneath the benches here, you're going to see we do have storage, and they do have toe kick lighting here as well. So lots and lots of lighting in the Freedom Express series, and that is such a nice feature to have these doors on the end of the dinette benches, so you can access this without having to move the cushions. And that is on both benches. They have a small little LED light up here over the top of the dinette to give you some nice additional light in there, and then some nice big picture windows here. And of course, we do have all of the windows in the slide are going to open for ventilation, and that's all three sides. As I'm moving forward here towards the bedroom, you can see we do have a big porthole window here in kind of the hallway, and it just adds a little bit of light into your kitchen as well as your bedroom. So when you're stepping in here, it doesn't feel, again, so narrow and small. And there's a lot of comments about that in forums. You'll see owners forums on the net. Coachmen, I know, runs their own owners forum with Forest River, and it's something that you hear all the time is, we just need more light in our unit so it doesn't feel so small. These small spaces do feel small without a lot of light. So one thing I'm going to step back here and show you real quick. The bedroom does close off with this little pocket door. And this guy is a very nice quality. It's very heavy, feels like it's well built, it's smooth back and forth, and it covers top to bottom there. So gives you a little extra privacy up here in the bed area. We do have hanging closets on both sides of the bed, and then overhead cabinetry all the way across. You can see, of course, that this is a queen residential mattress, so it is going to be 60 by 80, so your normal sheets will fit on this, all your fitted stuff. You don't have to find anything special for RV or be tucking all this extra fabric in, and then, of course, it's also long enough for a normal adult to sleep on. So that's a nice feature as well. You can see up front, we do have the porthole window up in the front, the windshield that Freedom Express has become known for here in the last year or so. They're doing a nice job with that. Again, it adds a ton of very nice natural light into the coach. I really like the new windshields up here on the front. You can see that your bedroom does have a second entry into the bedroom up here. And so part of the complaint with this floor plan when it first came out is they were just putting the entry door, your main entry door would be kind of back towards the back of the unit. And the nice thing with that is you gain a few things. But you also, and I'm going to go over those in just a second, but you also have to walk in right next to the kids' beds. So if you're like me, you put your kids to bed at around dark when you're camping. You might want to go out and hang out around the campfire and look at the stars and the moon or whatever, and then come into your unit after everybody's asleep. This will allow you access into your bedroom without waking up everybody in the trailer. So it is a nice feature there to have that second door in the bedroom. It stops a lot of the complaints or the reserve about this particular floor plan. Coming back out of the bedroom and coming down the door side, you're going to see the kitchen. So the kitchen here, the sink and countertop is pushed up against the bedroom wall. We have very nice overhead cabinetry. We have a decent amount of counter space. And I would even call it a fairly large amount of counter space for a bunk trailer. A lot of times you're going to see that is just a really, really small space in bunkhouse trailers. You will see, of course, this is that same material that's throughout the entire unit. This material is nice and light. It's not heavy like a Corian would be, and it's not near as expensive. So it really is a nice, that thermal wrap countertop is a nice feature. It keeps it nice and easy to clean. We do have a stainless steel sink here that is recessed down below the top of the countertop, and of course you can see it's an equal bowl in this one, so same size bowl side to side, and then it does have the big drains in it. Kind of a normal high-rise faucet there. It's done in a brushed nickel. It looks very nice. I think they did a good job with it. Of course, the sink covers will pop in here, and that is going to give you a heck of a lot of prep space. You can do one or both, you know, so you can still have one side of your sink if you're up here cooking, but that's a lot of counter space for a bunk. Once you get the countertop extensions, or excuse me, the sink top covers put in place, and they're the same material, and they flush it off exactly, so there's not, you could set a pot there, it's not going to move around on you. They do put these little LED strip lights in underneath the cabinet, and I think that's a really nice feature here. Again, if you're up here prepping your food, it's nice to be able to see. There's one back here in the corner as well. It's a pancake style, but this little strip light gives you just a ton of nice light over the sink here. Your overhead cabinets are pretty standard. They will see that you will delete this center stile, so they're full width. You can get everything in there all side to side. The cabinet has to have a little more care when it's built this way, so the cabinet doors match up there, and you'll see the gap coming up is nice and even all the way up and down. That takes a little bit more to do. That's why most companies are going to put a center stile in there, so you won't notice that if there's an issue. Down below, this is one of the features in Coachmen. I've mentioned this before. I still think it's one of the best things that Coachmen does, and no one else in the RV industry is paying attention to this. You'll notice that this drawer is cut with a big opening, kind of a U-shaped opening in the back of it, and it has to be that way to go in around the sink and the plumbing underneath. But most companies are just going to blank that off, and you're not going to get any particular use out of that at all. Coachmen has set up this little drawer with a silverware divider tray in it, and I think what a great idea. It's a small feature, but again, it shows that they're thinking about things. It shows that they actually care about how their units are used once they leave the dealership and get out into the open country. Coachmen has more repeat buyers than any other company under a study that I read here a few years ago, and that's the reasons why. They're doing little things like that that keeps people coming back to their brand name. Of course, your drawers are full extension ball bearing roller guides. They are plywood boxes, and of course they have little travel catches on them there. So good storage all the way around down here underneath the cabinets. You do have a big pot and pan cabinet there underneath the range as well. The range is the Furrion 3-burner cooktop with the steel grate up top, and then the gas range down below. And this one does have the light down there and the window in the oven, so you can see what you're doing. It's a very, very nice feature that took us a long time to get in the RV industry, but it is here. We do also have the glass top up here, so we can close that off. Same thing. Keeps the countertop nice and flush. There's just a slight little indent there. It's not a lot. Definitely makes it more usable. But again, you come back and take a look at that now, and now you have a lot of countertop space there. Above that, we do have a Furrion stainless steel range hood and the Furrion stainless steel microwave. So that makes it kind of nice. You see everything is consistent throughout the kitchen area there. The refrigerator in here is the Dometic, and this is going to be an 8 cubic foot gas electric, so it is a dual fuel type of model. It is a nice little refrigerator. Dometic's been on the market forever. This is an upgrade over the 6 cubic foot that most units in this class will run. So you just get, again, a little bit of an upgraded feature, and then of course your freezer compartment up above. Directly next to the refrigerator, you're going to have your pantry here. This is a removable shelf pantry, so each one of these is free floating, and it just has you can take them in or out. They do, interestingly enough, put another hanging rod in here. If you did want to use this for a closet, you could do that, but they do also, of course, give you all the shelves to make it into a regular pantry. 2 little storage drawers down below that, so as you can see, lots and lots of storage in this kitchen. Those are extra deep as well. I'm impressed with how far that sticks out of the cabinet there. And again, those full extension ball bearing roller guides, you can load those drawers down pretty good and not have issues with those down the road. Entertainment center is directly next to that. This one is equipped with TV as well as Furrion AM/FM CD and DVD player. We do have some additional USB ports for charging in here. If you have your phone that you need to charge, you can do that. And then, of course, we have just some little built-in nooks and shelves there. And then, again, a little bit of additional storage down here with 3 more doors. As I step back here, we're getting back to the main entry door. And this is something that I wanted to mention about this particular unit. So the few things that you get here that you're not going to get in other models are going to be a direct access from outside with 3 steps in your bathroom, so you don't have to track through your whole trailer. That was a big thing for a while, as they had this kind of size bunkhouse with the bathroom on the door side over here, and you know, an entry door in from outside, so you could access your bathroom without having to come through the trailer. Okay, well, that's all well and good, but then they decided they wanted to put a little outside kitchen in underneath the bunk, and that forced the bathroom back over here. So this trailer, you get both an access that gives you direct contact to your bathroom, plus you have the ability to put the outside kitchen in. And then again, the complaint was, well, now I got to walk by the kids' bed. We put the door up in the bedroom to alleviate that issue. So there's a lot of thought process to this. Like I said, it's a classic floor plan, but there's a lot of modern twists on it. And here's another feature that really makes this unit unique. Before I get into the door there, we do have the centralized control panel here. This is going to have awning and slide-out switches and monitoring systems, entry light switches, that type of thing, exterior and interior lights, as well as your water heater and water pump are all right there. This unit also has an entry closet that is absolutely massive. So each side has hanging hooks for coats. In the back, we have multiple shelves, and then we have all of this room up front. I mean, it is an absolutely... It's a walk-in closet in a travel trailer RV. It's something I haven't seen. I've seen multiple versions of this. This has to be the best one that I've seen. So again, these shelves are going to be removable. You can kind of do what you want to do back there. But what an interesting feature on a bunk trailer. Again, I think this thing kind of checks all the boxes in the areas that people have said, I have a complaint about this or that or this or that on my bunkhouse. You can see that as you walk through this unit, they have really tried to alleviate any objection to the floor plan. We're going to go ahead and take a step outside. Like I said, I am literally right on the street today, so it will be noisy outside, but I think we'll be okay. You should be able to hear me, and we'll get it done here. And like I said, just an absolutely beautiful day here in southwest Montana. You can see the mountains across the way there underneath the bluebird sky. And this is Rocky Mountain's view every day from the front of their dealership. Not a whole lot of RV dealers in the country get to look at that every day. So this is the exterior on our 287 BHDS. You can see very attractive unit from the outside. I like the fact that Coachmen went back to white on their exterior. I feel like it's timeless. I feel like it holds up better than anything else on the market, and I also feel like it cleans easier than anything else on the market. So I'm a fan of that particular finish on the exterior. I think it is just the best that there is. They put some black accents and some dark blue in there to give you some definition on the outside, but it's truly a very nice clean look to the outside. Right up here on the front, you will see this is a manual tongue jack. And again, manual tongue jack, I'm a big fan of power tongue jacks, but it's something that can be very easily added after the fact at your dealership or wherever. You can do it yourself. It's 3 simple little bolts here on the top and 1 wire that goes directly back to the batteries, which are about a foot behind the jack there. So it's a simple thing to do. It's definitely not a deal breaker on a unit in my opinion. Right behind the front jack, we're going to have our 20-pound LP tanks. There will be 2 of them there with an auto switch regulator. Directly behind that, you're going to have your batteries mounted. This one's up front here where they've got some power hook to it, so they've just got 1 battery sitting here. But when this unit goes through final PDI, which is pre-delivery inspection, you will see that they'll mount 2 battery boxes up here, the plastic cases, and then they will mount the 2 Group 24 interstate batteries they're using, at least for today, they use and they have for the last several years, and so those will be mounted right there. You can see it does have a battery disconnect switch there, so you can turn the batteries off, and that's going to make a big difference on a unit. So you don't, while the unit's sitting in storage and the batteries are on there, you always have your LP detector from inside. The stereo face is always on, so you always have some parasite draw on that battery, and after it sits there a couple weeks, you'll come back and the battery's completely dead. So it's nice, you can turn that battery off. When you come back, flip it back on, you're ready to go. Everything stays charged and up to snuff. Our spare tire on Coachmen does mount right here underneath the tongue on the front. It's a good use of the space there. I feel like that's a nice feature as well. The front cap you're going to see is very nicely done. It's got lighting around that front windshield. The windshield gives it a lot of definition. It's got the Coachmen and the Freedom Express logo up there, and of course right up in the corner is, after my own heart, their mascot, the Dalmatian, is right up on the front corner there. Coming down the side of the unit, you're going to see that we do have a full storage compartment that goes all the way across, and it's nicely finished. You will also see a little table that's hung up in here, and this is just an exterior table that Coachmen includes with their units, so you have an exterior table for your outside kitchen. It's a nice feature, something you'd never think about, but it's right there, it's up out of the way, and it's easy to use. Down below that, you can see our manual stabilizer jacks. Again, I'm a fan of manual stabilizer jacks. You put a little adapter on your drill, and you can run those up and down in about 5 seconds. It makes that job very, very easy. Just above that, you're going to see a Furrion solar panel charge controller, charge port there, where this will flip open and you can hook up a portable solar panel, it'll plug in there, and it is connected right into the main system. Behind that, of course, is our front entry door. And you will see that that front entry step is a standard black entry step, steel on the front. Up above that, we do have our power awning. It's going to run the full length of the trailer, front to back, and LED light stripping all the way through that. The axle set in here is going to be an aluminum alloy wheel, of course, radial rubber. These are going to be just a 5-lug axle, standard for this size of unit, and your ultralight's very common to see. We do have exterior speakers out here as well. Towards the main entry door, you're going to see the big grab handle on there. We do have the solid step from LCI that comes all the way down to the ground and gives you a little more positive feeling as you're walking up and down that particular step. They do have a little leash holder here at the door, and like I said, their mascot for the last 50 years has been a Dalmatian, so you kind of see that dog theme. They have the little paw in there, and then the leash is a bone. That's kind of cool. Like I said, this unit does feature the little outside kitchen as well. That's part of the package on this particular size of unit, and the configuration, the floor plan. It gives you this ability to have this little outside kitchen out here. And so we're going to have the small little electric refrigerator that is electric only, so it's not going to work out in the backwoods, but you can always remove that and use it at your house if you want to, or if you have a site with power. Of course, it's a nice feature. We're going to see my utensil drawer out here again that I like so much, and that is going to be in right around the outside kitchen. And then, of course, a little sink out here and some storage in behind that to be able to wash your hands outside is a very nice feature. This unit does have a rear ladder on it. I am a huge proponent of not being on the roof of your RV. This one is equipped with the ladder. If you're going up there, just be careful. We are also prepped for Furrion backup camera. It isn't standard with the camera, but it does have the prep up there, so you can just simply plug it in. Around the back corner, we do have our outside shower connection, and that's going to be hot and cold, and it has a little pull-out hand sprayer. City water connection, your 30-amp power cord, TV and satellite hookups, and then a black tank flush. And they started doing these in orange, which is kind of funny because we have people all the time that hook that up thinking it's a city water and then flood their entire trailer because they overflow their black tanks. So anyway, they started doing that in orange, and that's a pretty good indicator, and it's a really good idea. As we move forward on the unit down the off-door side, our water tank fill is right here at the front. This is also going to be the connection for our sewer on the front gray tank. And I don't know if you can see it, but right back there is the main sewer connection for the bathroom at the back. And then up underneath, you will see, of course, we are 100% enclosed underbelly. And that is, of course, going to be insulated and heated. A lot of dealers are going to call that a 4-season coach. In Montana, we call it about a 3. So it's one of those things. You also see a large dump valve there, and that's going to be for the fresh tank. That's nice. You don't have just a little 1/2-inch petcock that is so slow to drain these tanks. You can pull that, drain that thing out nice and quick. Like I said, that's the connection for it there for the fresh water, and that's a gravity fill, so you can still pour a jug of water in if you need additional while you're out. This is the off-door side of your storage compartment. Again, just goes straight through all the way through the unit. So once again, that is the new 2020 Coachmen Freedom Express 287 bunkhouse. We are here at our sponsor's dealership, Rocky Mountain RV. If you are interested in an RV, which I assume you are if you're watching reviews, this is a heck of a nice unit. Take a look at it and all the other units on their website, rockymtnrv.com. We're the Happy Camper. Thanks again, and happy camping.